Thank you, Madam President. Members, this is a bill that's been reworked and worked and reworked, and it's back before us again. It used to be SB 926. There's absolutely no significance to the number now. It is our attempt in this House to mitigate the housing and mortgage crisis facing the state of California. California now leads the nation in foreclosures. It is started in the Central Valley and Inland Empire. It's now spread almost evenly, although certain areas are being hit much harder than others. They still estimate that there'll be somewhere between 350 and 400,000 families losing their homes in the next 2 years. What the bill does places requirements on lenders to help borrowers avoid foreclosure, require notice to property residents that the foreclosure process has begun, give tenants additional time to move from a foreclosed property, and require maintenance of foreclosed properties to diminish the impact on the surrounding homes and neighborhoods. To resolve the opposition concerns, the bill has been amended to remove the notice to borrowers of pending mortgage payment changes. The bill no longer requires a face-to-face meeting, instead allows a phone meeting, limit the scope of the contact requirement so it only applies to loans made between January 1st, 2003 and December 31st, 2007. And it deletes the requirement that the tenant notice information on the outside of the envelope. These were things that the industry itself felt were too onerous. We worked them through. I want to thank them for the time they spent with us on this. The primary the purpose is still very simple. We want to do what we can in California to make sure that people don't lose their homes. I'm happy to report that all opposition has been removed, at least formal opposition. We'll find out if all opposition has been removed in a second. There's a long list of industry supporters and as well as those in the community, the nonprofit community, which is turning out to be lots of people these days. In any event, I want to thank everybody who's worked on this. We had some very good support and suggestions by members of the Banking and Finance Committee, both Republicans and Democrats. So our intention now is to move this bill as an urgency to the Assembly and see if we can't work with leadership there to make it a single bill. Thank you.
What does the bill do and what changed?
Well, what changed is the mortgage industry and the banking industry worked with us to come up with a bill that they felt would not be onerous, that more matched the reality that they were faced with. And so it was important to get the bill out because it does two important things. One is it makes sure that the person who is being foreclosed upon has a conversation with the person holding the note or the institution holding the note. And secondly, the tenants under the bill would get 60 days rather than 30 days notice before they have to vacate the property. And we were just finding people being thrown out of the street. They didn't even know what was going on because a fair number of these mortgages were held in absentee. And so somebody bought a bunch of houses, then rented them to people, and then all of a sudden they're out in the streets. So this is not going to cure the problem in California, but it should slow down some of the the vigorous activity that's occurring right now. California now is first in the nation in foreclosures, and most people in the business and the industry don't believe this is going to let up for at least throughout the balance of this year. So we hope to get it out of the Assembly, get it to the governor, have him sign it immediately, so people at least get some relief.